I've been getting a lot of requests from people to explain or share what the two amendments in the Bill of Rights are that did not get approved. I've been kind of talking about the structure of the Constitution. The Constitution itself is 7 articles designing the government, and then later Madison added the Bill of Rights because that was like a prerequisite. But when those were actually proposed, they were in the form of articles, just like the main piece of the Constitution. Now, the amendment name came a bit later, so keep that in mind. At the very top, everyone, it states Congress of the United States begun and held at the City of New York on Wednesday, the 4th of March, 1789. So that's the big lettering at the top. The next two paragraphs are essentially the preamble. The first paragraph says, the conventions of a number of the states having at the time of their adopting the Constitution expressed a desire in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending the ground of public confidence in the government will best ensure the beneficent ends of its institution. Resolved, so that's the next paragraph, resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress, assembled 2/3 of both houses, concurring that the following articles be proposed to the legislatures of the several states as amendments to the Constitution of the United States, all or when ratified by 3/4 of the said legislatures to be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the said Constitution. So this is the line where we start to hear this word amendment. Originally, they were articles. We were going to turn them into amendments once the states agreed. That was the second paragraph. Now, the third paragraph starts articles in addition to and amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America proposed by Congress and ratified by the legislatures of the several states pursuant to the 5th article of the original Constitution. It's another reference to the protocol required to add an amendment. So those 3 paragraphs are our opening, or the preamble, as it were. Now, on the next line, you're going to see Article the First. The first article was not included. Did not pass. It was not included in the Bill of Rights. So this is the first one not included. And it states, Article the First, after the first enumeration required by the first article of the Constitution, there shall be 1 representative for every 30,000 until the number shall amount to 100. After which the proportion shall be so regulated by Congress that there shall be not less than 100 representatives, nor less than 1 representative for every 40,000 persons, until the number of representatives shall amount to 200, after which the proportion shall be so regulated by Congress that there shall not be less than 200 representatives, nor more than 1 representative for every 50,000 persons. So that's Article the First. So they refer to it as Article the First, or the first article. The first of the original Bill of Rights was this, and it did not get passed. Now we come to something very interesting. The second article, or Article the Second, as it's written in this document here, and it states, no law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall have intervened. Now that is the second article. After that, we have Article the Third and so on. Article the Third, or the third article, states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So Article the Third, all the way down to the 12th, those are the Bill of Rights. But let me show you something a little bit interesting about the second article here, or Article the Second. The 27th Amendment is a little bit odd because it's actually 3 different pages. Here's the first page, and it's titled Archivist of the United States of America, to all to whom these presents shall come greeting. Know ye that the first Congress of the United States at its first session, held in New York, New York, on the 25th day of September in the year 1789, passed the following resolution to amend the Constitution of the United States in the following words and figures in Part 2, wit, and then they go through these two paragraphs. The convention of a number of the states having at the time of their adopting the Constitution expressed a desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its power, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending the ground of public confidence in the government. But what you can see here are the two paragraphs that I have just read in the original Bill of Rights. All right. The first one starts with the conventions of a number, and the next one resolved by the Senate and the House here. And they're stating on this second page, Article the Second, and it states, no law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall have intervened. That language is now the 27th Amendment, because they went through and made sure all of the states had ratified it and had said, yes, this is what we want. So the second article in the original Bill of Rights proposal is an amendment, but it's the 27th Amendment because it had not been approved at the time. I know, the world's gone crazy, everybody. So the two articles that weren't allowed, we have Article the First, Article the Second, and the second one was brought back in 1992. And here is where the archivist has signed and dated it. So there you have it, everyone. Article the First, Article the Second in the original 12 articles that turned out to be our Bill of Rights were the two that I just read at the very beginning. Article 1 over. Article 2 was not agreed upon until all of the states ratified it in 1992 to be included as the 27th Amendment. So there's a little fascinating piece of history for you. We have, again, one of those original articles that had been kicked out of the Bill of Rights was added in the late 1900s. There's your fun little piece of constitutional history for today. I will be putting together a series and sharing some more little fun things that you may or may not have known about the U.S. Constitution and the process that it took to get it to where it is today. Take care, everybody.